Chapter 2 Intractable Mares. The large pony dusted herself off as the other foals clustered around her. Applejack hugged Apple Bloom close and demanded, "Will somebody explain to me what in tarnation is going on?" "We were across town, and Apple Bloom thought we wouldn't be able to get back in time for our party," shouted Scootaloo. Still so wired, she was continuing to circle around to new places. "So I said, you could get in my wagon, I'd go there. But we hit a bump and Firelock set my scooter on fire. And when I tried to put it out, I crashed into this really big pony and broke a wheel. Apple Bloom was upset because she thought we would never get it here on time. But then she asked if the pony wanted to be real nice and pull the wagon so we could make it. Then she said she doesn't need the wagon because she can just take us on her back." Raindrops rained down on his brow. "That seems like a good idea." "Duh, it's no problem." The pony drew herself up to her full diamond raindrops. "My name is Juggernaut. Applejack stepped forward and cut her off. "Well then, Miss Juggernaut, I appreciate you helping my little sister get back here. But that's no excuse for darn near rattling the brain out of her head." She nodded at Apple Bloom, still looked unsteady. "I think an apology is in order." Juggernaut frowned. "Right," she asked. "She said she'd eat, so I go fast." The farmer opened her mouth as if to press the point, but Apple Bloom shook her head and said, "It's okay. I mean, we got back to my party in time, and that's what matters, right?" She grinned wheezily. "Oh, I say, Juggernaut says she knows sword tricks. Maybe she can tell us a few." The foals began carousing their approval. Steel's voice among the loudest. Raindrops hesitated, but before she could do anything, Juggernaut drawn her sword. "Duh," she said. "I show you little ponies fun trick." She swept a hoof towards him. "First, I need volunteer." Raindrops froze every single foal. Snails included raised their hooves. "Me," snails in unison with the others. "Me, me, 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 me." "Wait!" Raindrops grabbed Snails and hauled him backwards. "Snails, stop!" "But I want to see the trick." Applejack quickly got between the foals and Juggernaut. "Why don't we have treats first?" she said in a strained voice. "I know for one I don't want to keep that delicious chocolate marzipan birthday cake weighing. And maybe later this evening." She didn't need to continue. The foals cheered and stampeded past her in a little herd, each rushing to be the first to get a slice of delicious cake. Applejack and Raindrops exchanged glances before Raindrops sighed and approached Juggernaut. Before she could say anything, though, the massive pony looked at her and smiled. "You are Dame Raindrops, huh? It's good luck you're here. I came to town just to find you." Uncle Raindrops' coat. "And why is that? We've never met." "No, but you know my brother Goliath." Juggernaut's smile faded. "You hit him on head, make him cry, and send him to jail." Raindrops grimaced as he thought back to her battle with the Canterlot vigilantes, which included a massive pony named Goliath. He had some kind of mental disability and hadn't really understood what he was doing was wrong, but Raindrops had been forced to fight him to save his potential victims. "Juggernaut," she said in a low voice. "I'm sorry about your brother, but he was trying to hurt a lot of other ponies. I had no choice." Juggernaut was silent for a moment. "I know, but still, you hurt my brother. Now we must fight." She pointed her sword towards Raindrops. "Dame Raindrops, I challenge you to duel." "This is supposed to be a party!" Raindrops screamed to herself. She was half tempted to take the other member up on her offer, lead her away from the foals. Pounced of sense to her, but one look at her bulk gave her pause. Besides, Raindrops was remembering the things she heard about Goliath's mysterious older sister. She had been trying to hunt down vigilantes in Canterlot. That she led the elite security forces of Bobby Fisher, Quester's former Minister of War. And Fisher had scoured the land to fill that position, offering a magnificent salary to which attracted thousands of elite mercenaries, soldiers, and warriors. And Juggernaut had been the greatest of all of them. That the guards came to her for training. She looked at Juggernaut and thought to herself, "I might be able to win, but not without getting hit really bad. I can't risk it." "Well, take it easy," said Applejack. "Look, whatever bad blood there is between you two, ain't no reason for fighting, is it? Especially not with the foals, or does your honor?" Juggernaut frowned. "I heard my duty," she said. "I cannot wait, and because Raindrops is knight, under law, I can ask for duel." Raindrops growled. "It's also legal for me to say no, which I am. I get you want revenge for Goliath, but still, I refuse to fight you. So he took a breath, trying not to panic. If you attack me, you'll be arrested for assault. Then who will look out for your brother? Juggernaut flinched back, as if genuinely distressed. I will not fight you if you not agree. She insisted. I not break law. Then we will fight. Raindrop stepped closer to her. Because I say no. After a moment, Juggernaut nodded. I see you later then, she said. Maybe you changed mine. I won't, snapped Raindrops. Juggernaut smiled, as if this was a challenge, but did not respond. She just turned and left, soon vanishing as the road back to town curved beyond the hill. A few moments later, snails rained down to Raindrops, and when a big slice of cake pounced on his plate, levitating next to his head. Hey, where did that big pony go? She was going to show us cool sword tricks. I think she had something else to do, said Raindrops. Sorry, Squirt. Snails, as he hoped, took the bait. Hey, I'm not a squirt, he protested. I feeling when Raindrops smiled. I'm a pony. Raindrops scratched her chin, as if deliberating the statement, and glanced at Applejack. The farmer mouthed thank you to Raindrops, and turned to the other foals, who were starting to return with cake. Alright, colts and fellas, Miss Juggernaut had to go do something else, but don't worry, we still got loads of fun games and treats for y'all. Now, who wants to play Pete the Tail on the Pony? The foals cheered again, and followed Applejack towards the game area. Raindrops took a few moments to stop her heart from pounding, then followed, unable to stop herself glancing from over her shoulder a few times before stepping inside the barn. I really appreciate you getting rid of that pony, said Applejack, as seeing Raindrops trying to town. Wasn't sure what I could do, Sass calling for Big Mac and hoping he got there in time. No problem, Raindrops sighed. I'm really sorry. If I know some lunkhead with a grudge was going to show up, I wouldn't have agreed to help you look after the foals. Don't worry about it. Ain't like it's ever happened before. Every now and then, some pony shows up mad about some bounty Big Mac collected. Granted, most things out ours, but still, you'll get used to it. Applejack chuckled. Snails okay? Think so. The party had gone on for a few hours, and the sun was starting to set by the time it broke up. Big Macintosh had volunteered to walk Snails home. This usually would have been unnecessary, but Raindrops wanted somebody strong to keep an eye on, just in case Juggernaut tried anything, while she, Raindrops, went to Trixie to see if she could whip up some legal rationale to have the gigantic mare removed. She would have taken Snails with her, but the foals seemed to be having a really good time at the party, and she didn't want to have him in the room while she told Trixie about the new mare that was threatening to ruin her life. Thanks for having Big Mac take him home. Applejack nodded. Let us know if this Juggernaut don't want to leave quietly. She's big, but ain't no pony stronger than our Big Mac, and I know a thing or two about wrestling. She grinned. Alas, ain't just for show. I'll keep that in mind. Raindrops chuckled as he approached Trixie's house. See you later. I'll let you know if I need help. Wait, hold up. Applejack hurried to Raindrops. Look, as long as you're going to see Trixie, let me go ask her something for me. You know that rock of field just south of Sweet Apple Acres? Raindrops stopped for a moment. Yeah, Carrington said that Duke Blueblood took offense to some bylaw and appropriated it when he was the representative here. He knows because Green Grapebloods tried to buy it, but couldn't. Right. He told me 4 or 5 times he was going to give it to us, just as soon as he was done doing his rock farmer, whatever the hell he was using it for. But that never happened. He hung on to it until he left town, and even after. Well, there was filing an audit last week, and they found that Duke Blood don't live here anymore. Can't keep the field. So now it goes back to Ponyfield, and Mayor Ivor Scrolls has to give it to one of the local farming concerns. Well, he asked for it, but so has the Farmers Union. Applejack sighed. I know Trixie's friends with Carrot Top and probably wants the lean on the mayor to flow her way. But Duke Blood promised the field to the Apple Trust, at least owed to us. Besides, when I think of what we could do with that land, it's been fallow for years. Just get all the rocks out and fertilize it would be perfect for all kinds of crops. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Applejack said, Look, you're friends with Trixie too. Could you just mention to her that Duke Blood swore up and down he'd give us the field? That's gotta get some weight. I got his letters if she needs proof. I'll tell her, said Raindrops. She'll do, but... I know. Tell her it's all I want. Thanks. Applejack smiled at Raindrops in turn. I'm gonna track down Mac and make sure Snails made it home okay. See you soon, Raindrops. Raindrops waved goodbye, then trotted up to Representative's house. It was a cozy home, no more than 2 stories and a few rooms. Raindrops heard sounds from the living room as soon as he entered. Poked her head and grinned at the sight of Trixie, who was sitting next to a grumbling Carrot Top on the couch, gesticulating wildly. "Have no fear," the girl proclaiming. "The brilliant, wondrous Trixie will devise a solution to all your woes." "Feel better, Trixie?" "Yes. Trixie felt like she didn't have anything to do in the last episode, so this gives her a little bit feeling better." "That's good," said Carrot Top, whose frown was commonly under a suppressed laugh. "I'm feeling very well for today." Raindrops knocked on the doorframe and stepped inside. "What about my woes?" She joked as he approached the liquor cabinet on one side of the room. "I got woes that need solving too." "Well, I'm not done telling Trixie my woes yet," protested Carrot Top, no longer able to hide the bright grin on her face. "You need to wait your turn." Girls. Trixie's horn flared, so a few illusionary fireworks in the sky. "Rest assured, Trixie is so incredibly brilliant, she can solve the problem of all her friends. Or, at the very least, she can listen to them in prime bourbon, which is considered the same thing in New Orleans." "Sounds like my kind of city," said Raindrops, balancing a bottle of bourbon and a few glasses on her wing as he walked over. "I'm guessing this has to do with Duke Blowbud's field. I was just talking to Applejack, as he said that he promised it to the apples in writing." Carrot Top shook her head. "He promised it to every pony in writing. Whenever some pony complained about him hogging it and never getting around to doing anything with it, he promised he'd give it to them next year. Green grape, red onion. I'm pretty sure he promised it to Piggy's alligator once." She paused. He may have been drunk at the time. Raindrops chuckled. "Figures. Did he tell you to spend most of your time in alcoholic haze, Trixie?" "It's something like that," Trixie grimaced. "But it's a mess. Every farmer in town has claims on it. The union says they'll be fine with Carrot Top getting it, because most of them owe her favors anyway. But Applejack will back off, and to be fair." She held up a hook at Carrot Top's luck. "She does have an actual claim on the property. I don't think she needs it, but she's got it. So now Mayor Scrolls has to make a decision based on what she thinks is best for the town." "But even if she rules in my favor," said Carrot Top, "Applejack could take Ponyfield to court and try to prove it would be better if the Apple Acres had that field." Trinity did some research, and she thinks Applejack would have about a 1 in 4 chance of overturning Mayor Scrolls. If she argued that the Apple Acres can leverage the trust resources to produce more fruit and taxable sales than I could. Trixie held up a hoof again. "Conversely, if the rules were Applejack, you could take the town to court. Your business is local. It doesn't help down lives produce to other villages. It seems like Applejack Farm does. So it's arguably more important to the town. You're also a prominent member of the Community Business Association, which means that you'll do well if it affects the whole community. And you are a national hero that has some weight." Carrot Top sighed. "Trinity thinks I have about the same odds of overturning Scrolls as Applejack. 1 chance in 4. "Oh," Raindrops frowned. "So if Scrolls rose against you, you can't justify suing because you'll probably lose and waste a lot of money on lawyers. But if he rules in your favor, Applejack, who has money to spare, will probably sue anyway, since he can afford to lose if really wants the land." She paused. "All right, I'm pouring you extra bourbon." "Thanks." Carrot Top smiled as Raindrops passed her the glass. The 3 drank in silence for a few moments before Raindrops ventured. "Can you work out some compromise? Like, maybe she gets the field, you get something else, or—" "No!" Carrot Top's face flushed, and Raindrops stepped back. She couldn't ever see to recall the farmer look so determined. "I always compromise, and I'm tired of always being the pony to mark down. I really want some new land, so I can expand my farm, grow really tasty new festivals for Ponyfield, because I want it! It's not fair Applejack's going to take it from me." "She won't," said Trixie, rising and lifting her glass. "Because I, the eloquent and silver-tongued Trixie, will convince Mayor Scrolls that the field would do far more good for Ponyville and your host than Applejack's. And when she gets it to you, if Applejack sues anyway, I'll go to any court in the land, even the court of Luna herself, and convince all and sundry that you are the only acceptable choice." She beamed. "No pony in the land will dare hurl against us." Carrot Top laughed as Trixie posed by the couch, and Raindrops couldn't help but smile. "I'll help too if I can't," she said. "Nothing against Applejack, but yeah, I think it'd be better if you got the field. And I'll talk to whoever I need to, as it happens." She clapped Carrot Top's hoof. "Nothing to worry about." Farmer let out a sigh of relief, relaxing to the couch. Alex, she said, sipping her boyfriend. You two are great friends. Was there any need of doubt? Trixie grinned and turned to Raindrops. What friendship problem can Trixie help you with? Not really a friendship problem. Raindrops sighed, her good cheer fancying. She remembered why she was there. Remember how 2 weeks ago, Carrot Top, Cheerly, Snails, and I almost got killed by a bunch of nutjobs at Carrot Lot? And one was this giant named Goliath? Carrot Top nodded, but Trixie frowned. Oh, that's what I want to see. The really big one with mortar spells. He almost killed Twilight when he ambushed her underground. Then almost killed me when we fought in the airship docking bay. Raindrops winced at the memory. It's my own fault. So, Luna sent him to an asylum instead of a jail like the other guy, and... Did he break out? Trixie immediately sat down to Bourbon. Is he coming for you? Not him. But while we were in town, we learned he had a big sister. Some kind of super warrior Fisher hired to head up his factory security. She's in town, and she wants revenge for me putting Goliath away. Raindrops growled. See her around at Apple Bloom's birthday party and challenged me to a duel. I said no, she went away, but she said she'd be back later. No Pony spoke for a moment. Then Raindrops continued. I don't think she'll attack me. I mean, she could have just jumped me without asking to duel first, if that's what she wanted. But I still don't want her here. Especially with that what Snails just went through in Caroline, when the Mafia and the Vigilantes both tried to kill him. The last thing he needs is to be worrying about some giant pony coming after me. So I want her gone before he finds out. And besides, she's... Raindrops off for a moment. Thoughtless. She didn't care if she worried her foals at Apple Bloom's party by challenging me to a fight there. Or, waving that huge sword of hers around. Can't you just fight her and win? Asked Carrot Top. I mean, you're you. Raindrops smiled at but said, she's huge, armed, and I guess she's good with magic too. I fight her, but I'm pretty sure she'd hurt me even if I won. Of course, if I don't fight her, she'll hang around the town forever. Snails will get worried at some point might get hurt. And maybe she was bluffing. Trixie in a hopeful tone. To annoy you. She might be ready to leave, Van. Something pounded at the door hard enough to rattle its frame. The three mares looked at each other before Trixie grumbled something. Magically summoned her hat and cloak and tried to the door. Raindrops and Carrot Top followed as he swung it open to reveal the bulky juggernaut. Trixie started to say something, then froze as she gasped at the massive, heavily muscled pony. Oh! Dead Raindrops! Said Juggernaut in the same tone as before. I challenge you to a duel. I said no, growled Raindrops. Juggernaut frowned. Then I come back, she said. If you change mind before I ask again, find me at an apartment over a noteworthy music store. You rented an apartment? Demanded Trixie. Yeah! Fisher was telling me Raindrop's very stubborn, so I think if I'm down for many moons wanting to tutor her, it makes sense to rent a room. Juggernaut hesitated. But I think it'd take not long. We do the soon, Raindrops. Or what? Hissed the mayor. Juggernaut did not answer. She just turned and trotted away. Raindrops muttered something inarticulate and looked at Trixie along with Carrot Top. The showmare sighed. All right, she said. Maybe she isn't ready to leave. Does this episode sound familiar to anybody? Yeah, probably coincidence.